This opera village is located about 30 kilometers from the Burkina Faso capital, Ouagadougou. The project, which is still under construction, contains a school, accommodation for teachers and artists and residents, and a health center. It was designed by Diabedo Francis Kere, the first African to win the prestigious architecture honor, the Pritzker Prize. I'm very proud of his prize. I'm also very proud of the school, and all of our colleagues, the students, are also very proud of him. That's because the school is a beautiful architecture and we have all the conditions to study well, especially the students. There is also a shade and we have food. We congratulate him. On Tuesday, the Pritzker Prize, Architecture's most prestigious award, was given to the Burkina Faso-born Diabedo Francis Kere. It is the first time that an African is winning the honor in its more than 40-year history. His particularity is that he starts from the simplest material which we commonly have. I am a village child like him, from the material that our parents used and that they continue to use, which is not considered as something noble. But he has made something noble out of it. That is to say, it's the earth. When he brings them together, it makes something that is magnificent come alive. Unlike traditional school buildings which used concrete, Kere's innovative design combines local clay fortified with cement to form bricks that helped retain cooler air inside.
Lately, when Congolese go at the pump, it has been the same disappointment. Inexorably soaring fuel prices in the Democratic Republic of Congo are the latest consequence of the war in Ukraine. The conflict is stoking fears and anger, especially among residents of the northeastern part of the DRC. The authorities are present, yet prices are rising, and the authorities are not involved in regulating them. Why not ask those who are raising prices to lower them and even stop them from speculating? The rising costs not only affect fuel, but on the market stalls, commodities get prohibitively expensive. A 50-kilo bag of sugar, which previously cost around $43, now goes for $60. And the same goes for cooking oil, rice or maize. They are now worth the double of their price a few weeks ago. One of the reasons explaining this inflation is that DRC heavily relies on imports. If at the international level we don't find a way to stop what is happening in Ukraine, it means that we will face supply difficulties. It is clear that prices will continue to surge here, and I think that the next 2 months will be decisive for our population here in the east of the DRC. We are going to feel the shock of this war between Ukraine and Russia. To reduce the pressure on households, the Bukavu province governor has recommended that prices be lowered. But economic operators struggle to apply the directive. They've already suffered record losses due to inflation.
Eliminated from the Champions League, the focus now for Barcelona is to win the Europa League. For this, Xavi, the former captain of Barcelona, now coach, counts on his Gabonese striker Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Aubameyang arrived in Barcelona in January from Arsenal and has succeeded in his debut with 6 goals in 9 appearances, a gift from heaven according to his coach. Huba has been a brilliant gift falling from the sky for us because he is very positive. He reacts very well in the dressing room and he has adapted quickly to what the terms are and the circumstances that we found ourselves in. He finds space in behind, he creates chances and scores goals. He works hard for the team, he pushes the centre-backs and the goalkeeper, so it's a privilege to manage him. Tonight, Barcelona will face Galatasaray of Istanbul, led by its French-Senegalese striker Bafetimbi Gomis, who is back in Turkey after having won everything in the Middle East.
Ivorian Foreign Minister Kondia Kamara arrived on Tuesday in Ankara. On the 8th day of her working visit in Turkey, she met with her counterpart, Mevlut Çavuşoğlu. During a press conference, she addressed the war in Ukraine and called for the creation of an international conflict resolution committee. It would be good if there were a committee bringing together the foreign ministers of all regions of the world to anticipate potential conflicts between countries. That committee would travel from capital to capital and gather the parties at war and bring them around the table to negotiate and find peaceful solutions through diplomacy, discussion and dialogue. That is what you have started doing here in Ankara by inviting the foreign ministers of Russia and Ukraine.
Le ministre des Affaires étrangères de la Russie et le ministre des Affaires étrangères de l'Ukraine.
The officials discussed trade as they touched on ways to strengthen bilateral relations. The Ivorian minister hinted at the agricultural sector, set to experience significant transformations, increasing investment opportunities. In this Lilongwe mall in Malawi, we are kilometers away from the front lines of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. However, the distance doesn't mitigate the high price local households have to pay. Global increases in the price of wheat or fertilizer have been recorded since the fight started, raising fears for workers like Tionge Ulaya.
We are afraid that maybe we will all lose our jobs because the ones that are working at the bakery, they are not doing the job. They're not doing what they used to do, because they're not making a lot of blade, and we are not selling a lot of them.
If the supply has diminished while the demand remains the same, less shoppers will be able to afford these commodities over time. Cooking oil price has already shot up by an average 50%.
Cost of production, it has increased immensely. So they have to come together and also increase the price of bread by 40% to what it was before.
Africans are also feeling the impact of the Ukraine crisis in the price of fuel. In Nigeria, the biggest oil producer, the government only subsidizes the cost of petrol.
At the beginning of the year, diesel sell for, I think, about 270 to 280. Then at the time we're having it like 310, 300. But presently, within a month, it left that level to about 600 and something plus now. Trucks that bring in food, stuff from the north to the south, are running on diesel. Even train runs on diesel.
The operators on the different levels of the supply chain therefore pass the cost on to consumers. It is the case, for instance, for sachet water. Last year's price increase was blamed on the prices of production components. This time, it is the war in Ukraine.
We used to sell 120 before. So because of the diesel now, the expenses of the nylon is too much. That's why we are selling 150 now.
The full extent of the Ukraine-fueled inflation has yet to be estimated, but it is already clear that African families will be impacted. Some countries will struggle with higher borrowing costs, and conflict-torn states could face food insecurity.